Hello, I'm Oded Grober, and this is The Social Blog. On today's show, we'll talk about the world of dating in 2014. With all the new dating websites, dating apps, and Facebook, of course, technology has changed the way single people meet and interact. So what are the pros and cons of all this technology? Let's go to the studio, meet our guests, and find out. So joining us today here in the studio, Liron Shamam, a journalist, and Yoni Shadmi, what should I say that you are?
Activist and consultant.
Social activist and consultant, works for me. Thank you both for being here. Let's begin with you, Liron. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the relevant dating experience that you might have.
Well, I'm divorced recently, and I've been with this ex for 8 years. So the last time I was single, there was no Facebook or anything.
And you found yourself
and
in
then,
this semi-familiar, semi-new world.
It's like a whole new world, and you don't really know what to do, and everything is different now, and I'm still, finding my way.
All right, we're going to hear more about it later on the show. Yoni, you're very familiar with the Middle East, and I'm curious to hear from you about the differences that exist from in different cultures around the Middle East.
Well, I think I would say the fundamental difference, Oded, is that there's some questioning of new apps. If you talk to people from Iran, people even from Egypt, for the more secular countries, people are not as quick as us to just take anything that Silicon Valley creates and start using it.
They're more picky, but at the end of the day, they want to find the date as well.
They want to find a date as well, but they have sort of this system where they basically question stuff that comes from the West that maybe we can also
maybe not such a bad idea, come to think of it. All right, so let's see. Online dating has been around for a couple of decades now, and its latest trend is mobile dating services, which seems like a natural progression, considering that in 2013, Americans spent more time on their cell phone, excluding phone calls, than on their PCs. So there are conflicting statistics about how much of online daters have moved already to mobile dating, but the trend is clear. Mobile dating is here to stay. So let's take a look now for more at today's portrait by Leah Volbel.
Historians have pointed to many causes for the sexual revolution of the 60s and 70s: contraception, women's growing independence, and the role of mass media. Almost 50 years later, the rise of internet and smartphones has given birth to yet a new language of seduction. It involves meeting people on the net, but you're free to do so anywhere you please, not just in front of your computer.
Meeting new people, actually, not something too serious, maybe friendships or something.
There are weird people on dating sites sometimes.
Well, I'm using the app basically to meet guys.
Sort of like make a laundry list of what they're looking for, like, oh, I want someone who folds origami and can like sing the blues, but doesn't like dogs.
Direct and easy contact, it's like real life but better, is the Tinder application Logline, created by two entrepreneurs in their mid-20s. The principle is simple. The app finds the potential matches most physically close to you, and if you both like each other, the encounter is immediate.
It's all about the location-based and the fact that you can judge somebody by the way they look. If you put the hypocrisy aside, well, eventually you'll judge someone the same way as if he approach you in a bar. We just swipe right. We swipe right all day, and eventually, at the end of the day, we look at the matches.
So are we in the middle of a new sexual revolution? Dr. Dre is a sexologist who gives weekly radio advice to young people.
Et le portable.
Mobile and online dating has definitely changed sexual habits. It allows for more extramarital relations and more intimacy within couples as well.
Plus d'intimité au sein du couple aussi. Ces sites de rencontres vont nous permettre soit de rencontrer une histoire qui dure.
These dating sites work for either long or short relationships and help us realize our fantasies.
Et donc ces sites-là vont nous aider à réaliser nos fantasmes. Là, on va savoir qu'on va.
Users can meet specifically for a sexual relationship.
une relation intime.
Whether people are looking for a one-night hookup or a lifetime partner, their demand has created a huge industry.
On a ici rencontres.
We also have dating sites for married people who want to be unfaithful, which is very trendy in Israel.
Des sites de rencontres pour échangistes.
Ziv Chen founded ForSingle in 2010, yet another website and dating app. Similar to Tinder, ForSingle offers quick contact with an added innovation of criteria-based algorithms.
In my opinion, the perfect recipe for a good app is to have as many people as possible, to have the chat and the communication and the bonding between two people as fast as possible. It should be simple. It needs to be secure. A few years, you need to invent yourself a little bit better and to change a little bit and to advance together with time and technology.
Mobile dating is slowly but surely capturing a large audience, and on the way, it's changing social behaviors. In Israel, as in most Western countries, sex, hookups, open relationships are no longer taboo.
As a sexual doctor and couples therapist, I often recommend these websites because it can be a safety net for troubled couples.
C'est un filet de sécurité.
All right, Leon, let's begin with you. As you said, you've been out of the game for a little while, and you found yourself back in the game. What has changed?
Well, first of all, let's talk about Tinder. I love Tinder. You know, just the fact that all you need to do is just swipe.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I'm tossing all the men to the toilets. I loved it. But then the problem is that all you see is one picture.
Right.
And I don't know what is the thing about Israelis, but they didn't get the idea that the picture should be right. Like, for example, no sunglasses, maybe put a dog or something in it. And they kind of didn't get the idea of Tinder, you know?
Okay.
It's a speed dating app.
Yeah.
Speed dating is very popular in the last years, and I can understand that, because if you feel the magic, but it's very difficult to know by a picture.
Yeah, but there are more tools than just Tinder, and we'll get to Tinder. There's a lot to say about that, of course. But, you know, just even Facebook. I mean, we're all on Facebook, and we all see other people that we know, that we don't know, that we saw once, or just see, you know, a friend of a friend or something. Is that something to go by?
I think it's still changing the world. For example, I was at a cafe at Friday, and I saw this cute guy, and we looked at each other, and I was on the phone, and I said my name out loud, and this is all I need to do, because now he has my name, and he should find me on Facebook. Where is the, romance? He should come to me, maybe buy me a coffee, maybe we talk. It's not happening anymore, and the problem is, when you go on Facebook, you get all this information about the people, which is not necessarily the truth about this person.
Yeah, there is the way we'd like to present ourselves.
Yeah. And I don't want to be hypocrite. If you go to my Facebook, you get like...
It's not exactly you either.
Yeah, but you see, it's a problem because you get an idea about a person, and then you meet someone else.
Yeah.
Yoni,
there are questions of morality, of course, in the way that we ourselves personally use it, but also in the bigger picture, in the fact that all of these startups are actually out to make money, using our desires, our wants, our needs.
I think what's happening is that the same financial forces that are changing, for example, the books industry, guys like Amazon, or basically any other industry that's being changed by the internet, is now also affecting relationships, human relationships. And personally, I'm not sure it's entirely a positive phenomenon, because what's happening is that young, usually white guys, Americans, from a very specific place, usually from Silicon Valley or one or two other places, are basically dictating the way we live our lives. And I think one of the dangerous influences here, and if I was single, I would probably use Tinder, but that's kind of my point. These are really strong forces that we're not even thinking about.
It's very hard. It's very hard to resist. Yeah. Now I want to talk about Tinder, but before we do, let's take a quick look at Conan O'Brien using Tinder for the very first time, perhaps even the last time. He did it with James Franco's brother, actor Dave Franco.
This one is Neek. And about Neek is not looking for DTF.
What's DTF is?
Down to
excuse me. Do you talk that way at home? Is that how you talk at home?
You asked me.
I'm not going to go with Robin.
I'm going to say no to Paulette. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be picky at first.
Yeah. What are you looking for over there?
What are any of us really looking for? I'm looking for that special someone who's going to change my life for a period of like 20 minutes.
Sure.
All right, so the billion-dollar questions. Is Tinder really only about one-night stands, or can you find love on Tinder?
Well, the founder says that they have a few people who got married through Tinder. I don't believe them. I think the odds that you find love in Tinder, it's the same as if you go to a trip to Alaska and you will meet someone in a bar. It's not really happening. But specific Israeli women, they kind of don't get the idea of Tinder. And they're looking for love. But the problem is when you go and you like someone, there is an element of destiny, we should say that. You have to like someone and he has to like you back, and only then you can open a conversation.
Start a conversation. Yoni, what do you think? Can you find love on Tinder?
Yeah, again, personally, I don't really use Tinder, but a lot of my friends do use Tinder. And I think one of the interesting things is if we, at least spoke of Israeli women, if we as a society would be able to use these tools not in the way they were intended to. It's a hookup application. It's really clear.
Yeah.
But as a serious dating tool, then I don't know, maybe we'll be better off.
But I did find someone on Facebook. That can happen. I don't know why. Maybe there's more information over there. It's easier to find, more.
All right, we gotta keep going. So let's do that. Come back to you. In today's post, we're gonna take a look at some more behaviors and trends of online and mobile dating. Let's take a look.
I love spaghetti, old American films, and brown-haired men taller than 1.8 meters. But will a man who loves spaghetti and old American films suit me, and will I suit him? Dating sites force us to create criteria for why two people will like each other, whether it's for sex, love, or just dating. People can have really specific descriptions or all sound exactly the same. Girls, for example, are always cool, funny, and love life. And if you are among the resistors who never registered, don't think that it will protect you from hookup culture. The 21st century destroyed all the seduction codes we knew so well. No more wooing, going to the restaurant or movie. Now we have drunk sex and then see if we have something to talk about. There are plenty of new acronyms to describe the new relationship statuses like SF or sex friend, friends with benefits, or PCRA, the French acronym for sex friends with affection, developed by the French sociologist Kaufman, who's observed couples for 30 years. It means we sleep together, we laugh together, we don't see anyone else, but we are not together. And on top of this, there's FOMO, the fear of missing out. We compulsively check our phones not to miss a party, and we send a yo to the guy who gave us his phone number even though we can't remember his face, just in case. Dating websites make us think we are multiplying our chances. But chances for what? They can be useful for specific interests, like motorcycle lovers or women seeking military men. But apart from this, nothing will ever replace our attraction to the charming eyes of a stranger who we asked what time it is.
All right, so let's be honest. It's not like we stopped going out and meeting people randomly. We still do that. But the question is, are all these apps, Tinder and Facebook and all that, are they expanding the pool of people that we can choose from? Or are they actually limiting us by telling us, okay, you're going to meet someone that age, that appearance, that education level?
I think that there's a lot of new research into this, that we as people, we are not really good at choosing what's good for us. What I mean is that it's hard, people are always asked to describe their ideal mate.
Yeah.
Exactly. And consistently, they're really bad at it. They end up with someone completely else. So I think one reason to be sort of optimistic is that these apps will not necessarily help us find the love of our life because we don't know how to define it.
Yeah, and I think that, go ahead.
I think that's, I tell you about the point where I decided to quit Tinder. I was sitting at a bar, hoping to maybe, find a cute guy, start a conversation. There was none of that. So I opened the Tinder, and I was sitting at the bar, using my phone, swiping. And then I realized it's more of the same thing. It's just more of the same, and it's not really working, so I quit. because you meet the same people, and then you meet your neighbor, which is married, and it's like too much.
It's getting too creepy.
Yeah.
What about, I guess Tinder allows us now to, I don't know if I should say allow, but it does enable extramarital affairs much more easily than it used to. There are different statuses. We're either dating, yes girlfriend, no girlfriend, we're just sleeping together. Is that something new, really, that it brought to the table, or has it been around but more hidden?
It only makes it legit. That's what I think.
I think that betrayal has been going on forever, but it does make it easier, and I think these things affect Tinder. Even though I'm in a relationship, Tinder affects me because both me and my girlfriend know that
it exists.
Not that it exists, but to meet someone else, all we have to do is this swiping motion.
Yeah.
And again, this is a not so positive effect. I think it's changing. It's changing relationships even for people who are married for 20 years because they know what's going on.
It's about time, Sorry, I know that you are in a relationship. I don't know what your status is, but it's about time that humanity will face that, love and marriage, it's not really working as it used to be. Everything is changing, and those apps came because there was a need.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where it goes from here. We're out of time. Thank you so much, Liron and Yoni. Thank you at home for joining us as well. Please join us again next week for another edition of The Social Blog.